PvP in Roblox tower defenses was always a hot topic. From tower battles popularizing the PvP aspect of tower defense, we are at a point where every Roblox tower defense either has a PvP game mode or is wanting to add one. TDS is no exception, however its history of player versus player game mode is interesting and saddening at the same time. So let's explore how TDS has managed to fail at PvP not once, but twice. The first version of PvP was officially released on 9 August 2019, around 2 months after the game's release. It was called Versus, and in essence it was basically tower battles PvP inside of a different yet similar game. You could join as either a red or blue team via elevators, with up to 6 players on each team, or up to 4 before the mega update. You then had to choose the game mode you want to play on. The mods themselves were the same as ones in normal games, from beginners to fallen mode, and before the mega update, there was a single mode that was also used in usual games back then. The gameplay of Versus was the same as normal, with the usual wave structure of chosen mode, except you could set enemies to hopefully defeat the opposing team. Upon one team's base HP dropping to 0, the other team wins, and whether you get anything from winning I don't fucking know. You see, I could not find a single footage of all TDS PvP, let alone the one showcasing victory screen. Even John Roblox did not bother with it. Not even TDS Wiki has any information on it. So whether you gain anything from winning, no idea. Write in the comments if you know. Before the mega update, only 2 maps were available, but after the update, the amount of maps was increased to 5. And that was Versus mode. As previously stated, this game mode was not very popular. It was basically a normal game, except there were extra enemies spawned by the opposing team. You likely didn't even gain anything from it. Besides, tower battles existed and offered the exact same PvP experience, so no one was impressed or excited about TDS's recreation. This game mode was simply a failure. The target audience did not care. And so, on the 4th of March 2020, Versus was officially deleted from the game. I don't think many people cared though. Since then, PvP has been pretty much forgotten by both the developers and players. Over 4 years have passed without the developers mentioning it. Some people did actually want PvP back, but the majority did not really care about its absence. Also, I will say that the amount of people that wanted PvP did actually slowly increase as the game updated and progressed. It wasn't until the broader update of May 2024 when PvP was mentioned for the first time over so many years. Specifically, a 2-day 1 PvP test was announced. It wasn't really interesting. It was basically just a refresh Versus, with a single low quality map, and only 1v1 being available. A couple of days later, another PvP test was carried out, this time bringing some useful quality of life along with it. Around 2 months later, the same PvP test happened again. At the same day, however, the Paradoxum team went on a break and announced that PvP will be releasing around 3rd quarter of 2024. However, as we all know, that did not happen. In September, a controversial Pokke DJ update was released, bringing a new ultimate skin rarity. This is important because below said that the ultimate skins will be the reward for PvP, the free way of getting them, as Pokke DJ and multiple ultimate skins beyond their own payload. This gave a new reason for people to be excited for the PvP release, as it seemed to be the only free way of obtaining the new highest quality skins. A couple updates later, a new Halloween lobby was released, bringing a lobby style that is still used as of making this video. It had a dedicated PvP space that was locked. Shortly after the new year, PvP was officially teased again, this time for 2025. Sometime before that, however, Below stated in the Discord when talking to someone that PvP was supposed to release likely around January, which obviously did not happen. Another PvP test then occurred, this time for ranked mode, along with other changes and additions, like consumables that made PvP look like the final product. PvP was then teased once again in the hacker update, and so the trailer for PvP was announced in the worst social media of all time, which then dropped a day later. It is 2 skin rewards, an ultimate skin for Accelerator and Cowboy I think. The trailer was cool, but what about the actual game mode? It was released a week later, and so PvP has officially returned to the game. And it was a disaster. But what happened? First of all, the game mode had a billion bugs of release, which was expected knowing how previous big updates went, but it just downhill from here. The gameplay barely changed from the previous testing and even from the versus. Effectively, the only change was the addition of consumables that did not really spice the gameplay to the right standard. In other words, the gameplay was basically spamming enemies for the entire game, and either the other side gets overwhelmed and dies in the first 5 minutes, or the game just drags on for ages, which is not fun at all. The enemy spam also set a single meta of crowd control towers, which made every game feel the same. Oh, and don't even get me started on the reward system, because a season pass was introduced that required EVO to progress. Basically, you climb ranks from Private 1 to General 3, which unlocks rewards in arenas. There are 3 arenas, Basic, Molten and Fallen, and they respond to what enemies can be sent in the PvP, so generally nothing much changes. Also, for some weird reason, the first season pass is named Season 0 and not 1. The worst part, however, is the EVO system. First of all, you can drop out from ranks if you lose EVO, meaning you are never safe from losing it all in case of a losing streak. But it gets worse, because the amount of EVO you get or lose seems to be random. How amazing is that? It did get later changed to be a set amount of 50 for win and lose, but still, losing and gaining the same amount of EVO is simply not very fair in my opinion, and is too punishing. Oh, and also, you needed 3000 EVO to get all the rewards. In other words, assuming you win every round, with 50 EVO per win, it will take 60 games of absolute slog to get the final reward. Fucking hell. Rewards themselves aren't even bad. They are pretty decent cosmetics, and the final reward as promised was an ultimate skin for Accelerator, which does look epic, but not many people would be willing to get it with their intended method. This is exactly why everyone was just win trading. Yes, in the early days of PvP, you could just win trade just by leaving the game, as there was no penalty for doing so. This meant that the other guy was left alone, leading to a free win and EVO. This was patched a week later with introducing a penalty for leaving, but it was too late, and many people already got champion Accelerator. Was win trading fair considering the state of PvP? It's up to you to decide. Oh, and also, a clan update is supposed to come out in the future, but not sure when that will happen, and to be honest, I don't have high hopes for it. So yeah, it's safe to say that PvP was a failure once again. The game mode was boring, repetitive, annoying, and the reward system sucked. It did get some changes, but it did not save PvP, and this game mode basically died. Almost no one played it. In fact, even Sandbox had more players sometimes, especially during updates. This is still true today. Season 0 ended 22nd of October 2025, and Season 1 is supposed to come out. But the question is, should it? No one wants to play another 60 plus swap games in this poorly designed mess, even if the reward is worth it. In my opinion, PvP should get a big overhaul, along with its reward system, because in its current state, it's not an addition, but a liability. This concludes the sad history of PvP. It had a rough past and a rough present, with the game mode being unpopular and unwanted, due to being undercooked. But what do you guys think? What should happen to PvP for it to be a good addition? maybe something good will happen to it. But until then, it's the game mode that was so bad, it failed twice.